Nexent Incorporated was founded in 2000 to optimize energy management solutions. There are three distinct operations within Nexent. Those are utility software and services, energy and chemicals advisory, and government. These will be elaborated on in the following video.
I'm John Gustafson, the CEO of Nexent. Every day, our talented team members work to reimagine the world we live in, solve problems, and help provide a better tomorrow. I'm honored to lead this company and extremely proud of the remarkable work our teams are accomplishing globally. Nexent's rich, diverse culture includes over 500 employees worldwide. Since 2000, these employees have provided award-winning solutions that improve customer engagement, boost operational efficiency, and save natural resources. I'd like to share with you how Nexent's work is helping lead the way to a better tomorrow. Utilities face many challenges, including meeting the growing demand for reliable electricity while overcoming the problems posed by an aging grid. Nexent is a true partner. We work alongside our utility clients to help them connect with their customers. We do this by making programs easy, making them understandable, and also engaging. Our call center services have transformed the utility customer experience. We are more than a script and a voice. Our staff are experts in solving utility customer issues and have transformed the utility customer experience by maintaining call services in excess of industry standards. Our software engineers understand the needs of our customers and create software products that enable implementation of smart grids, clean energy, and demand management initiatives, while improving efficiency and also reducing risk. Our Energy and Chemicals Advisory Group is the go-to team for many of the world's largest energy producers, chemical companies, and the banks that work with them. As a knowledgeable strategic partner, we help clients navigate the big global energy, chemical, and material issues. Our experts provide training and consulting and advisory services that help clients make investments and business decisions to thrive in a changing global environment. When individuals have access to electricity and other critical infrastructure, it not only improves lives and reduces poverty, it increases the overall outcomes for those countries. Governments around the globe look to Nexent to help them plan and develop energy markets and upgrade energy infrastructure. The impacts and outcomes of this work provides a lasting legacy. I am proud to be a part of a global company that is helping create a more productive and sustainable energy future for the world.
Our team is working with a subgroup in the Utility Software and Services Division called Business Process. This group supports over 20 utility service providers with call center assistance for energy efficiency programs for their customers, as well as processing applications for residential, commercial, and retail rebates. They issue hundreds of millions of dollars in incentive payments annually, and the founder of Nexent, Bassam Saranda, still maintains the position of CEO. Nexent has posted the following video to their diversity page. A global company, Nexent is inherently diverse in their workforce when all locations are taken into account. However, Nexent cannot compete as a diverse supplier overall due to their board being completely male, and they recently did lose a large contract that had been handled incredibly for several years because of their client's corporate diversity metrics. Nexent had all but had the client's contract for rebid, but at the last minute it was passed up to their corporate chain where they decided the call center was an easy replacement to swap out for a women-owned company. Ironically, the contract went to a women-owned company, but all of the customer service representatives for the contract within Nexent were women and were primarily minorities. So it was the representatives who were representing the contract that ended up being the ones who lost the work. The call center that we studied had a very typical call center demographic, with a large proportion of representatives being women, mainly single mothers, and racial minorities in both the male and female genders. The highest level of education amongst the processors and supervisors in management is often high school. As you go up levels, there is more and more college education, but definitely very limited among the representatives. The internal management team is almost split half and half between men and women, with only one racial minority represented, and most of the supervisors are split the same way. Most of the team of management and supervisors consists of representatives who rose up through the ranks, as well as a few outside hires that brought unique skills and perspectives to contribute to the work. Nexent attempts to highlight diversity, as we have seen on their website with the video. Unfortunately, there are no available stated policies to reiterate to hiring teams regarding certain diversity metrics. Our inside sources have never been given a quota when they go and hire for positions, and they have all hired for several. Based on the demographic of supervisors and management, hiring teams are usually diverse just due to the makeout of the employees. However, there's no purposeful intent behind that. As shown on the displayed flyer, supplier diversity does matter. Nexent does have a supplier diversity program, which is the only clearly communicated diversity initiative, and this is available on the diversity page on their website. Employing diverse suppliers is the primary way that Nexent attempts to have an edge over other providers for utility rebate work. In the flyer, they specify that to qualify as a diverse supplier, your firm must be certified as a diverse business, so women-owned, veterans, LGBT, and also must be for-profit, located in the U.S. and owned by U.S. citizens. The only diversity reporting done for this diverse supplier program is for one California utility, and it only spans across 4 or 5 suppliers, and that's out of the 20 contracts that they handle and millions and millions and millions of dollars of payments that they issue. It's a very, very small amount that actually is reported on with this supplier diversity program. There might be some diversity training as far as management training, kind of click-through portals, but no managers could identify any trainings they had taken recently. For the most part, diversity is not openly acknowledged, mostly due to fear of offending someone or getting in trouble by HR. The environment is welcoming and aims to be non-discriminatory, but it's not a conscious effort to include or exclude certain groups. So it's safe to say that in Salt Lake office, there is no true diversity policy, and it is an aspiration, but call center industry norms and the demographics have done most of the at least representative and entry-level work, but there also is a highly fluid workforce with a large amount of turnover. We used primary and secondary research to help us quantify the data that we will show here, which we'll elaborate on further.
For our research methods, we used a combination of primary and secondary information. For our primary information, we created an anonymous survey which we distributed to employees and managers around the firm. In addition to our survey, we also did some virtual one-on-ones with managers around the firm. The goal of the one-on-ones was to really understand the business operations on a day-to-day basis and any decisions that are made that specifically relate to diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Our secondary information comes directly from the company's website. We wanted to understand, what is the company's stance on diversity? Is there a clear definition of diversity on the company's website? And is there any additional programs or incentives that the company is running or managing for diversity and inclusive? These are all things that we're going to take a look at in a second. The goal of the survey is to really understand if Nexent is exceeding or falling short on the integrated approach to managing diversity. Authentic leadership, clear organizational communication, inclusive recruitment practices, long-term retention strategies, integration of diversity into the working organization, diversity metrics, community and organizational outreach. These are the most important topics of the integrated approach to managing diversity. And we have a couple of questions from our survey here that we thought would really help us, get a clear sense of how Nexent is doing in terms of diversity and inclusion. How aware are you with the diversity and inclusion initiatives of your organization? Do you feel that employees of different backgrounds are encouraged to apply for higher positions at the organization? To what extent are employees of different genders valued equally by the organization? To what extent are employees of different races valued by the organization? What can be done to improve feelings of inclusiveness at the organization? How satisfied or dissatisfied are you with the amount of communication that you receive about your organization? Overall, how well would you say your recruitment process was managed, and how promising are your career prospects with this organization? Do you think a formal or informal mentor could help you progress in your career at the company? And then some traditional demographic questions to really just understand age, race, gender, education, tenure of the people who are filling out our surveys. For our secondary information, when you go to the company's home page, there's really not a clear, defined definition of diversity. There's not even anything listed about diversity until you go to the About section when you can find diversity. It's here where the company attempts to define diversity in a statement made by President John Gustafson. The statement falls a bit short in my opinion. And in terms of diversity and any additional programs, there's little, if not any additional information on the initiatives or programs that the company is doing in terms of diversity and inclusion.
Our survey of workers in management and representative positions showed that in the Salt Lake City offices of Nexent, people felt that there were two main diversity issues within the organization. The first one is opportunities for advancement, and especially for women. The second was the lack of comprehensive information about their diversity initiatives. Nexent states that it is committed to diversity and inclusion. The homepage has easily found links to their diversity website, where there's a clip of the president, and then there's also a clip of employees where they use signs to express their diversity. The board of directors and all of their leadership features many people of color, yet women aren't well represented. There are a total of 3 women in the higher levels of leadership, and there are 0 women on the board. The integrated approach to diversity management states that the company should place diverse employees into positions of decision and policy making. An increase in representation of women into leadership positions will help broaden the range of perspectives, but it'll also provide essential role models for their current female employees. Our survey showed that a common concern among employees is the opportunities for the advancement of women. Multiple people stated that they felt that the advancement opportunities were limited and that there's a glass ceiling at the company. There are a lack of role models in the highest level of leadership, and that contributes to the employees' feelings of limited advancement opportunities. The lack of female role models with no employee engagement groups creates an environment where there really are no clear paths to promotion. The second concern raised by our survey was the little to no knowledge of diversity programs or initiatives by the employees of the company. The website offers a small amount of information on the company's commitment to diversity and mentions their desire to include diversity in every aspect of the business. Yet, most of the employees surveyed stated that they were unaware of any diversity initiatives at the organization. clear, and authentic communication is a significant component of diversity management. Nexent is not effectively communicating its diversity goals and really is missing an opportunity to have successful diversity initiatives. The website states that there is organizational development to provide employees with the resources needed to succeed. The employees surveyed don't know what the initiatives are. So any actions described on the website or in the diversity initiatives are not reaching those frontline employees who would benefit the most. Without clear communication from the CEO or any of the other leaders, the integration of diversity into the business has a lower overall chance of being successful.
So as you can see from our presentation, Nexent really doesn't have any strategy for diversity currently. And so we have proposed 5 different goals in 4 different categories within their company. So in recruiting, in training, in employee engagement, and authentic leadership. And so when it comes to recruiting, one main thing that Nexent does not have currently is diverse images on their website. So out of around 70 different web pages, they only have 16 images of actual people. And so we would like to implement at least having 35 diverse images on their website by the end of the year. We definitely feel that this is something that they could implement within the next few months even, but we wanted to give them enough time, maybe even add a few more than the 35 diverse images. And these can be minorities, these can be teams that are working together. As you can see from these images, these are some good ones of diverse teams really collaborating together. And then another recruiting initiative that Nexent is not doing currently is visiting high schools or universities to recruit. And so we feel that if Nexent goes out to high schools and opens opportunities to minorities that may not know that Nexent is out there currently, they could really hit the ground running with applicants coming to apply for Nexent. And we want these to be at mainly diverse high schools and universities. And so we propose that they visit at least 15 schools or universities by spring 2021. And then when we go on to training, Nexent also does not have a diversity training initiative currently. And so as we've learned from the business case of diversity, it's really important to get this right. And we feel that everybody needs to be on the same page when it comes to diversity and realizing the benefits that a training program can have. And so we want people to understand how many diverse opinions and perspectives you can get from people in diverse groups. And so we would like Nexent to roll out a diversity training program within the next 24 months. And this seems like a long timeline, but we've learned as well that if you do not get this right, then it can actually cause an adverse effect for employees and applicants. And so we want them to have the opportunity to really perfect their training program. And then lastly, we sent out our survey, and it was really interesting that 71% of the respondents replied that they only feel that their career is moderately promising within Nexent. And what's more interesting is that 100% of women that we interviewed or gave the survey to said either moderately promising or not promising at all for their career trajectory within Nexent. And we do want to recognize that we weren't able to get the survey out to, let's say, 100 people, but it is a really good view of how people feel within the company. So we think that Nexent should implement a path to promotion where everybody, men, women, non-binary genders, everybody can be on this path to promotion. And it's a checklist essentially where you check off specific things that you're doing within the company. And then once you check off a certain amount, you are eligible for promotion. And we also need to make sure that somebody is auditing these eligible candidates every 6 months or so that a candidate doesn't stay eligible for promotion for a year or 2 years. We really want to make sure that people are getting these promotions, not just staying eligible.
And the next subgroup or category that we decided to implement is having that employee engagement. And on a personal level and personal experience, I feel that when we have that personal engagement, we're able to interact with our peers and that come from different backgrounds and have different interests. So some of the things that we wanted to implement were providing work-based or internal and external employee outings, where a team from this location, the Salt Lake City location, can go to a different city or a different state because of that Nexent is a global organization, and they're able to interact with other employees from different locations on how they resolve different issues, and being able to take those ideas and come back to their teams and being able to collaborate and kind of apply them here. And I think that would create a lot of ideas with different issues, and it can also lead to better retention and employee success. The next thing that we wanted to implement, the next type program, is having a women's mentorship program where it could boost employee satisfaction, and it could help assist in training the company's potential next generation of leaders, and being able to provide that support and growth. I recently attended the AICPA Women's Conference this past October, and for me personally, I feel that having that interaction with somebody who has already gone through similar experiences as you has helped me to figure out, let's see, okay, well, they did this, and to kind of just figure out what you want to do going forward and what they would have done differently. So having that, role model, so to speak, to help inspire and motivate you as you are going along your career path. And then another program that we wanted to implement is being able to get involved with community outreach programs, such as the Women's March or the Pride Parade. And I feel that it will reflect the Nexent's whole global organization, meaning they do support people's interests and other extracurricular activities that they may participate outside of work. And so we feel that if we implement these employee engagement programs within the next 12 months, it'll really show that Nexent has supports diversity and diversity inclusion. And so that was our goal 5. By implementing these programs, we feel that it will definitely increase the diversity within Nexent. And the next initiative that we thought that we would do is the authentic leadership. And as you can see, I have 2 pictures here of John Gustafson, the president, and the CEO. Bassam Saranda, I think that's how you say it. And I feel that when, we've talked about it in similar cases in class and in our discussions, when leaders really support and promote diversity, the company reciprocates and the company starts to make those changes and implement them. And if by saying they acknowledge our perspective, they encourage women, feedback from women and diverse employees, to establish that line of communication and also make them feel appreciated and acknowledge their ideas. I think that will also expand the diverse and critical thinking of employees within the organization. So that was our 6th goal. By having the support and involvement of CEOs within promotion, or just having that open line of communication, and having leaders really lead with an open mind and having that openness of diversity, I feel that it would be beneficial to the company. So to just kind of conclude our presentation, by implementing these initiatives such as recruiting and training and programs to have that employee engagement, authentic leadership, we feel that it would really benefit the company in including diversity and having and like Michelle proposed, to include more images on the website, because we feel that a lot of people will want to work for Nexent, knowing that there's people there that look like them, and it's not just all one type of person. They have this diverse individuals, and so I think that'll be very attractive for the company's success.